What's up guys, Petko here. A few more days before the season starts, I decided to make a video about what are my top 3 ranged options for Season 2. Now keep in mind that the class changes, the final ones have already went in, so we have general idea of what's gonna happen. Of each spec, the 11.15, which is the minor patch, will likely come in a few months in the season, which means technically these things can potentially change. But at least for the foreseeable several months, these should be the top specs in the Mythic Plus when it comes down to ranged. Let's begin and I'll tell you exactly why do I think so. Alright, coming in at number 3 is gonna be Balance Read. Balance has proven yet again to be a fantastic pickup for Mythic Plus, from incredibly high AoE damage to very competitive utility profile, which obviously is, in my opinion, one of the best in Mythic Plus, to decent single target. Balance has pretty much everything that you need for a ranged option to be a viable in Mythic Plus. Now keep in mind that Mark the Wild likely the most one of the most overpowered utility Mythic Plus. They have Innervate, Nature's Vigil, which is kind of healing, Stampeding Roar. They can remove poisons, they can remove curses. They can remove enrage effects, AoE stop, typhoon, mass root, single root. Like, they have the whole toolkit to pretty much help your team. On top of this, they are caster, which benefits in the current meta, which is, once again, in my opinion, Vengeance DH as a dominant tank paired with a priest together. And if you have a mage in the group, that even makes Balance stronger because they can benefit from Kill's Brand, which is the magical damage increase of DH, and also Arcane Intellect, which is the Mage extra intellect, making Balance much better pickup for Season 2. In my opinion, one of the best so far. I guess the biggest, one of the biggest advantages, durability. Outside of Bear Form and your Bar Skin, you really don't have anything else. Renewal could be in the conversation as like extra self-healing. If you play Keeper of the Groove, you can get 8% DR, which means damage reduction. If you cast Regrowth on you, but overall, don't really have like a second strong defensive option, which I would really have loved to. Nonetheless, I believe they're going to be a fantastic pickup for Season 2. Alright, coming in at number 2, it's gonna be Elemental Shaman. I can't believe when was the last time I actually mentioned Ellie's good Parada season, but here we are. Ellie is coming into the second spot of our selection. Incredibly powerful AoE damage, sustained AoE off cooldowns, great private damage as well on top of it. Utility toolkit, one of the best currently in the world. Also a caster, also great single target. I mean, Ellie has pretty much everything that you need from a spec to be in a good position. Obviously, the utility is plus the damage is the driving factor. But besides this, Ellie fits the meta really good, just like Balance Read. Caster, which can benefit from Arcane Intellect coming from the Mage, and also on top of this, the Kill's Brand coming from the DH. Just think about all the toolkit that Shaman has, like Sky Fury buffs the whole group. Have a Bloodlust, have a Stun Totem, Speed Totem, which also can remove, by the way, snare effects, right? Earthquake can disturb the mobs when you have it on top of them. You have AoE root, by the way, a removing of curse effect. You have a purge, knock up, poison dispel. It's like there's so many toolkits that Shaman has to like tackle any situations in Mythic Plus, on top of already being one of the most competitive AoE specs in the game, which makes me to believe they are gonna be fantastic choice for Season 2. Nonetheless, there is someone slightly better than Ellie Shaman. Alright, so before we finish the top 3, I have to have an honorable mention, and this time around is gonna be Shadow Priest. Honestly, I am very happy with the performance of the spec, even though there has been a major shakeup with their removal of some of the power of the set, distributing power to the core toolkit. Shadow Priest currently performs really good. Now, just like any priest utility, PI, Stamina buff, Mind Suit, Master Spell, Vampiric Embrace, Dominate Mind. All of those can be really powerful toolkits to like tackle any situation in Mythic Plus. The best thing about Shadow Priest, at least from my point of view, it has always been amazing prior damage while doing AoE. Like, you can funnel, destroy one target while simultaneously do AoE to the entire group of enemies, which again to me has been always a beneficial way to do damage. On top of this, as you guys have already known, SP single target looks to be crazy good, as well as the AoE. So I think all of this combined together makes them one of the best range options for Season 2. Well, they can also benefit from Arcane Intellect and Vengeance DH buffs as well. The weakness on Shadow Priest has always been one, and that is mob control. Mob control has been very weak just because long interrupt, long cooldown on the interrupt, and only one way to stop mobs, which is pretty much Psychic Scream, aka the Fear. Other than this, I mean, they don't really have anything else to offer. However, if this remains part of the meta, which means S tier, there's a lot less incentive of bringing Shadow, because there's no point bringing double police utility where you could benefit from having something more unique. So that could also be a turning point for you, likely not being invited. But nonetheless, I still believe that Shadow Priest would be great, especially on high level keys. On the lower level keys, it could suck just because how Shadow Crash plays out. You miss a crash, you do no damage. Sometimes the mobs die way too quick for you, unless you play Void Weaver. Other than this, yeah. I mean, I think overall is a good choice, but yeah. Alrighty, and for the final spot, guys, I have already told you for the past couple months, and it has still been the case. Number one, the best range coming in Season 2. Who would have guessed it? Once again, Fire Mage being the best Season 2 range option in my opinion. What could I say, chat? The highest single target of all of the specs that so far that I've tested, especially if you play the Ignite build. If you play Flame Strike, incredibly strong AoE damage performance. Utility, one of the best. Durability, one of the tankiest in the world. Not only this, but you sync very well with caster combos because your Arcane Intellect provides significant amount of damage for each and any caster playing with you. And as I already mentioned, mob control, I mean, think about all of this. Blast Wave, Dragon Breath, Ring of Frost, you know, you can spell through magical effects from targets, you can remove curses. You have Mass Barrier, which pretty much puts a shield on every single member of you. I mean, what else do you want from spec? How many more defensive options do you have? You know, from your own shield to Mass Barrier to like Cauterize, which is pretty much like a cheat dead, to a nice block. You have like Mirrors, which again provides DR. Blinks as well can give you a shield. How many more do you want? Alter times. I mean, you have so many options to survive, and honestly, on top of the already strong damage profile, I wouldn't be surprised if we see even double Mage comps in Mythic Plus. Nonetheless, Mage has been out of the meta last season, so I feel like Blizzard was like, finally, you know what? Let's pack the bags. It's time for you to make a comeback. Who would have guessed, you know? But anyway, Fire Mage ending up as a number one spot. Alright guys, that's gonna be the end of the video. As always, if you guys appreciate the content, make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a video. And as always, I keep reminding you, there likely not gonna be many changes in the following weeks, if anything at all, just because World of First Race is gonna start. And we believe that the next minor patch, which is 11.1.2, will likely drop around April, possibly April. So I wouldn't really expect to see many changes coming in the future, but in case they are, I will always report back, analyze, and as always, refresh/update the current guides that we have. Once again, Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Best man, Petko.